Welcome back to Prep Recruiting Insider, PRI. I'm your coach, Rick Daly, and along here with our Prep Recruiting Insider, Renee Nadeau, and we're very, very pleased to welcome into PRI Coach Tony Hull of Warren Easton, entering your 7th year, Coach.
Yes,
thanks
sir.
for being here today. We appreciate you.
Hey, thanks for having me and my guys. We definitely appreciate it.
Great. Well, last week you had a spectacular win in the pit at St. Amand. Before you get into the game, because I know Renee will have some questions on that, tell us what was the experience like playing in the pit at St. Amand?
Well, I mean, St. Amand has a great environment over there. The pit is definitely a tough, hostile environment to go in and play, and I was just proud of the guys and the way they, reacted and dealt with adversity. And, St. Amand has a great team, and that environment, makes them that much better. So, just happy to come out of victory in a place like that.
I'm not giving you an excuse, Tony, but I know quite a few of your starters were not playing at full 100%. And Tyron, for one, he had the flu and he had a great game.
Yeah, we had a couple guys that had that 48-hour flu bug or whatever is going around the school. Tyron, he went to class and he wasn't feeling well, so he kind of slept, the whole day. He had fever. I think it was at 103 or something like that. So. For him to come out and play, I didn't think he was going to play, but for him to come out and play and do so well, I'm just proud of him. And I'm proud of a lot of the guys that were dealing with that. We only had one really full day of practice last week, so to go in there and come out with victory, I was just happy.
And you win the game 40-32. Looks like every week you're going to have the opportunities with the talent you have available and the system you have in of being able to put points on the board. It looks like each week it's going to be a matter of just staving off the opposition enough possessions. Tell us about your defense. I'm joking in a sense, but tell us about your defense.
Well, I don't foresee that, towards the end of the season, because we have a bunch of new pieces. We have a lot of talent defensively. They're just young. We have some young guys, but they're talented. It's just going to take, me and my staff a little bit of while to get those wrinkles ironed out. But I think I think towards the end of the year, we're going to rely on those guys more than, we normally have in the past.
Now, Tony, you've been coaching 10 years and your background played at Sarah Reed, played for legendary Percy Dewey before going on to ULL. What did you learn under Percy? What kind of helped you formulate your plan to be a coach?
Just that you have to take kids from the city of New Orleans and teach them how to be a man first. As you teach them the off the field things, character development is huge in our program. We put a lot of emphasis on that, and in turn the young boys and the men. If you can take a young kid from the city of New Orleans and teach him how to be a man and handle his responsibilities and work hard, he already has toughness because his environment has made him tough. If you can take those intangibles and teach him that and allow him to become a man, the battle is 75% of the way done. So that's what me and my staff takes from him, is that, that's first and foremost in our book.
You got so many guys, so many recruits on this team, but you don't just roll the ball out there and win. I mean, because of your national ranking and all, you have a target on your back. How will you prepare this team for maybe past years at Warren Easton?
Actually, I'll be honest with you, the team has kind of taken care of themselves. Nobody, all the accolades that Tyron and Arthur and Kendall and Deshaun get, they don't let it go to their head. They have an even keel about themselves, and they compete their tails off every single day. One college coach came out spring practice. He was like, "Coach, you guys act like y'all don't like each other." Well, that's because those kids are that competitive, they're that focused on being successful. So the team is kind of taking care of themselves, so everybody gives us their best shot, which is, we kind of expect it, but we give each other our best shot every day. And I think that's the most important thing that I've experienced this year that I didn't realize was going to, happen.
And looking back to Coach Dewey, who I knew well as well, it is about the education. Football is a part of the educational process, and not something aside from it. It works hand in hand with it. Now you've got West Jefferson this week at Pan American, an afternoon game, Friday afternoon, I believe, 3:30 at Pan American, and then later in the year against Edna Carr, you're part of the first NBC Prep Showcase. But first things first, tell us about West Jefferson.
West Jeff, offensively, they do some really good things. They have a lot of speed, a lot of talent. Defensively, they disguise a lot of stuff. So we have to go in and we have to have a great week of preparation mentally. We got to get ourselves focused mentally, and we have to, you know, weather the storm. Every team we play, we're going to have to weather some type of storm. You know, we played Lake Area in the Jamboree. I forgot what the score was, but however, you know, first part of the game, they kind of gave us everything they got, and it was kind of, they threw us off guard a little bit. So just to be able to weather the storm, being mentally prepared, and just coming out and executing and staying healthy.
You said a little while ago about how competitive your players are, and I've been honored to be out watch practice and all, but you don't have any me guys, Tony. You don't have any guys that look at me and I'm going to turn this around. Is that something you have had to work on? That's just the complexion of the team?
That's just kind of the complexion of the team. You know, people see Tyron, you know, at the game, and they see how emotional he is, and they think he's a me guy. Actually, he's total opposite of that. You know, if his teammates are not performing well, if he's not performing well, he's just not a happy guy to be around. He's that competitive. He's that focused and that strong-willed about being great. And it's the same thing with the rest of the team. You know, it's not really a me, it's everybody pushes each other to be their best. And if you're not, you're gonna know it. And that's the one thing I like about this team. Normally in high school, when kids are not practicing well, doing things well, kids kind of turn a blind eye to it and say, oh, that's such and such, or that's such and such. Not with this team. If you're not practicing well, if you're not getting after it, you're gonna know about it. You're gonna feel it too. So that's the one thing I love about this team.
Right, we're in the last minute, and I know you cannot be successful as a head coach without great support from your administration and from your athletic director. Won't you talk about those two people?
Well, you know, we have a new athletic director, Neil McKendall, and he's doing a great job trying to transition from what Stephen Costa was doing. Our principal, Alexina Medley, I just can't say enough great things about her. You know, everybody says she's not a football person, but she's a kids person. She's whatever's best for the world being a kid, and I love that about it. And just, you know, my staff is great, my coaching staff is great. You know, they're the best staff in the state, I think. You know, and just the school itself. You know, this is the first time I think in the city of New Orleans where we're one of the top performing high schools academically in the city, and now we're one of the top performing high schools athletically. So people don't have to send their kids to Catholic schools anymore to get a quote unquote great education, which I got to thing about. However, you come to one of the greatest schools in the city and be a part of a great program.
Okay, that's Coach Tony Hull of the Warren Easton Eagles. Thanks for being here today, Coach. We're going to get right to your players in just a few minutes. We're at NOLA Motorsports Park here in Avondale. 640 acres of speed, and action. We'll be right back after this timeout on PRI.